Good afternoon from downtown Los Angeles, and welcome to the USC Spring Game. Before we preview 2024, let's take a look back to the season that was in 2023. And coming off that record-setting performance in the Holiday Bowl triumph, Miller Moss leads his USC Trojans back onto the Coliseum floor. So much about this opportunity in the first place is still true. Even with all the change they've gone through, this is the place he wants to be, and they're only scratching the surface compared to where they're going to be when all the dust on the field and off of it settles.
Yeah, look, this place is
2x2 set with a tailback Woody Marks. Offset to his right. Steps up in the pocket and spins it outside the numbers. Caught just shy of the 30. Miller Moss begins his day with a completion to Zachariah Branch.
I think so.
Spotting you 24 points to begin. Moss in the gun. At the mesh point, he gives. And Woody spinning off contact to move the chains. Woody,
previous one, and now hits his opportunity as he runs out with the ones on offense.
One of the four tailbacks we'll see today for Moss and this USC offense. We mentioned his catching prowess. He's across midfield with another first down. Shoved out by Mason Cobb.
What's happening in college football? He's even going to have Lincoln Riley in his ears, literally, with the headset now under the helmets.
They add a tight end here and get it out to Jaden Richardson inside the 45-yard line. And I like what Lincoln...
This, where you go in and watch him in the Holiday Bowl, where he threw 6 touchdowns in their bowl game. That's where he thrives, of understanding where defenses are going and how to get rid of the football.
Probably time to mention the offensive line here. Elijah Page at left tackle, Emmanuel Pregnon at left guard. 36-yard line to extend the drive. On the first possession, it's 3rd down and 12. Moss stands in, layers a ball down the sideline, and batted away by the length of DeCarlos Nicholson. It's as if Danton Lynn...
They gave up a bunch of explosive plays. A nice play there from the transfer corner.
And Zachariah Branch back to receive, USC's first true freshman, first-team All-American, and he did it as a returner. Java, who led UNLV to a Mountain West title game last season. And he'll keep it himself on a QB run up between the 25 and the 30. Mayava is 6'4", 219 pounds from Hawaii, a redshirt sophomore.
Now, important to remember, this is his first 15 days in this offense, running it. I'm so intrigued to see what training camp looks like with him in this competition.
This time does give Brian Jackson, a freshman, and an early 4. 4-man rush, good protection, and a completion out wide to Makai Lemon. There's another sophomore target for the USC Trojans.
Yeah, we referenced this second-year class of wide receivers.
Offensive points of this spring game. Blitz shown, and it comes from the linebacker level. There's Lemon with a one-handed stab. Don't know if that play would have held up if the quarterback was live, but the second offense will take it.
This guy, he has a chance to be big-time explosive, especially down in the red zone.
With the tight end in formation, it's a give. Brian Jackson tries the right side. Anthony Beavers Jr. in the mid. Mayava has 2nd down and 9. Down the sideline and intercepted at the 10. It's DeCarlos Nicholson again, already with a PBU off of Miller Moss, denied an explosive play. He's been everywhere this spring for SC.
There's really nice coverage, man-to-man coverage against Jacoby Lane, the guy we were just comping to Dwayne Jarrett. The ball thrown inside on the go ball, and Nicholson has great awareness, vision for it. Remember, DeCarlos Nicholson was a one-time quarterback attacking the football.
All right, 3 points for the defense because of that turnover. It's Miller Moss back at quarterback, off the play fake, steps in, and he's picked on back-to-back plays. This time it's Marcellus Williams.
Let's talk about the pick first on defense, then we'll get to the throw. But a nice job of this freshman. He's playing a little squat corner. His job is for the flats. He recognizing there's no threat to him, so he drifts a little bit. Miller Moss thinks the throw, and he watches it on the sideline. He'll want back.
Jake Jensen gets a series now and feeds the middle. Amarion Peterson, who enrolled at USC in the spring of last year after graduating a semester. He's been with them since 22. Also spent the spring of 2021 at BYU. They get it out wide and completes. Deuce Robinson next in line in our sophomore foursome of USC.
He's not 6'3". This is a large man who can make plays with the ball in the air.
Jensen on the roll, pursuit from his blind side, and he throws the incompletion with Elijah Newby, the linebacker. The appropriate
spring, they want him to have some mastery around it.
I run the middle here on 2nd down and long, breaking tackles. Amarion Peterson bringing some oohs and ahs. We'll see where they spot it for 3rd down. But D'Anton Lynn did bring a couple of UCLA.
Not surprised by that because of his understanding of this scheme.
I'll play 2 quarters of ball here today. We're inside of 6 minutes to go in the first. Jake Jensen on a deep drop. Rips one to the sideline, and it's complete. Josiah Zamora, walk-on, who's been married, his wife, Michaela. Another rushing attempt, and stumbling through contact, Brian Jackson, the freshman, who competed at the Elite 11 finals last year for you, Yogi.
Yeah, bottom of the screen.
QB looking his way. And there's another juggled interception. 3 consecutive picks for this D'Anton Lynn defense. Malachi Crawford gets a turn.
Just the other side of the field. Watch the corner just sink, sink, sink. I'm going to make a play on the ball. Another turnover for the Trojans.
So a lot of recruiting, but it's been fun so far. Obviously, when you take a new job, a lot of stuff goes into it, personally moving and all that. But when you add in the
to build this team,
yeah, I think from a recruiting standpoint, you got to try to analytically look at players. You got to look at the film, and then you have to do the background on who fits from a character standpoint, a locker room standpoint. And oh, for sure. This is our 3rd time living in Los Angeles, and my first job working for the Clippers. I lived obviously in LA, and then coaching the Lakers G League teams. Thanks for having me.
JB, back to you guys.
Thank you, Ashley, and also want to shout out Lindsey Gottlieb. Congratulations to the women's basketball team on another historic run. What a great moment in time for women's hoops, including here in Los Angeles.
And even feeding our players, especially these guys up front. They've added a dramatic amount of weight. You see Braylon Shelby on one of the defensive end spots right now. He's one of those guys that made huge gains physically front, and the strategy to do so.
Creeping here, showing blitz, a bobble by Mayava, able to shoot it to the end zone, and Deuce goes up and wins a 50-50. They blow it off, incomplete. Head coach like Lincoln Riley has experience with that in his background, notably with Kyler Murray. From the pocket now, a 1st down throw over the middle to Makai Lemon. Right at the line to gain, and so they'll move the chains.
The high angle, the end zone angle to study in real time what's going on.
Defense sends a linebacker, throw to the end zone, back shoulder, and this one is reeled in. Makai Lemon has the first touchdown of the SC spring game. The prep All-American from Los Alamitos gets the offense on the board.
This is a big time throw. Sit in the pocket. Put some air under it, firm with an arc. Allow Lemon to adjust to it as the DB Prophet Brown has no idea where the ball is. Tucks it away from pressure. Red zone execution.
Dennis Lynch with the extra points. Riley has also emphasized the need to get ball in football. The Deion Sanders, the Bo Jacksons of the world that have done it at the highest level. Outside with Xavier Jordan, and the freshman from Sierra Canyon gets a touch in the SC spring game. They would love to have more of them as they head towards 2024. Joey Olson, another freshman early enrollee at tight end, and he's had a great opportunity this spring with McCree on the shelf and Carson Tabarachi limited this spring as well. Plenty of reps with the ones for
Play is something that will stand out to the staff.
Defense showing blitz from the edge against the run. Not much doing for this Jake Jensen-led offense. They only needed 2. Let's see if they grant the 1st down. And again, we're playing an untimed 3rd down and short from the gun. From the SC logo at midfield, back to the ground game, and just enough to get through the arms of Cameron Fountain from the defensive ends of that championship game on their 24 schedule, which we will look at as we continue here from the Coliseum. They make them snap it again on 4th down, and now they'll move the chains.
A week and a half ago or so, but they'll have an opportunity to make plays.
Jensen steps up into trouble. Contacted twice, and they will blow him dead. Let's give it out of 11 personnel, a run left side, and again you see 49 Cameron Fountain jumping on the back of the tailback. Trojans creeping on defense. Here they come, and a flag down. Looked like a false start.
Offense offense, number 62. 5-yard penalty, still third down.
Cooper Lovelace there with the...
Them makes sense, but as they change up where guys align, how they blitz, you see it again at the top of there, or the bottom of the screen there.
Another flag down, over the middle, and caught by a leaping Zamora. Off the play fake, out to the bubble. Xavier Jordan inside the 10. Well, we're talking about all the changes on defense. An untimed conclusion to our first period here. Running through the right side and dashing down the hashes for first and goal. Brian Jackson has shown some burst. Freshman out of 10.
Spring, and they were all pretty young. We're talking about 17 or in your first true spring football.
Now he powers through to pay dirt. Brian Jackson into the end zone at the Coliseum for the first time.
Lonnie Noah. Watch him pull, get low, make the block, spring it for the freshman, finding a touchdown in the Coliseum. He'll remember that one.
Extra point tacked on, and the offense gets
TCU, who's worked at least a year ago under Garrett Riley, the brother, of course, of Lincoln Riley. And history of college football. Heisman Trophy winner and Caleb Williams, as you referenced, the presumptive #1 pick. His jersey is going to be in the peristyle end zone this season among a bunch of other Trojan greats. And he was one of one. Or more responsibility because they feel the loss of one of the greats of all time. I think this team is probably even more connected than they'd been in the first 2 years without Caleb Williams, because everybody Washington in the NFL, and Damon and Brock and Luke has had a tremendous career in coaching. It's a tremendous cutback there on that run from Woody Marks.
last to leave guys as well. We saw that this week in their final practice before this spring game. Patient over the middle, Makai Lemon making himself available with a catch and run for a first down to the 40.
Just to finish up that point on now having a full-time quarterback coach that isn't the head coach, that room and Luke Heward, and allow him to work with the defense, sit in the D-line meetings, truly become that CEO and have a little bit more free time on his hands to do the things that big-time head coaches have to do. It's a reminder, it's a different era in college football. And look at him coming back to the West Coast.
Quentin Joyner, the tailback, rumbling inside the 20.
Nice job on that inside zone play, but just to finish it up.
First drive of the second half for Miller Moss. Pressure coming from his blind side. Steps away from trouble and finds his tailback for what could be first and goal. All right, but back to Gentry, who told the media this week, if you don't
race type of ball game that does not fit a defense.
Moss handles a low snap. That's tipped and picked off. The Trojans are going the other way. Prophet Brown, a pick six in the spring game. Yogi, we were watching practice the other day and you saw Prophet and you just kind of said aloud, I'm happy for him. Why? Why are you so happy for this young man?
Well, he was pretty deep on the depth chart at this time a year ago. Didn't imagine him playing a lot last year. Was thrust into action in a couple games and played his best game in the bowl game and picked up where he left off. Reads the slant, drives on it from the nickel safety position. Great reaction to the ball up in the air. House call. This defense, different than
to them, and so we're going to play football.
Mentioned Danson Lynn, and obviously you come over with him. He was your defensive coordinator at UCLA. He said having you is like an extension of himself in the locker room and on the field. What has it been like to kind of be the hallmark of this USC defense moving forward into next fall?
Just being aggressive. There's a tradition here from USC to play fast, play physical, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to bring that back.
All right, who's standing out to you from this team? I chose UCLA, and now you end up back here. What has it been like to play for a rival and now to be over here and rocking this Trojan jersey?
It's just a blessing. So those are two great schools.
Piece, and I think his presence is felt in the locker room. I mean, he's got that true it factor where he elevates everyone around him. And then that's who he is. You look at his personality, what he's trying to do academically, trying to get into the business school. True veteran defenders that I think will fit in brilliantly with this scheme.
Second down throw for Jaden Maiava. Out on the perimeter and close to another first down. Maiava has a family connection to SC.
The next starting quarterback here at SC.
Corners up on the perimeter. A little press on third down and 2. Maiava wants to throw for it. And the defense cuts it down. Anthony Beavers Jr. with a tackle for a loss in space. Defense could get 3 more points for a 4th down stop. Offense has 7 yards to go from the 42. And a whistle before the snap.
Okay, so let's talk about this defensive line a little bit. Not the starters. We don't see them out there right now.
Still 4th down.
And the dog work temperament, the ethos that I think was the untold story of all the success the Rams have had in his time together. The last 8 years in the NFL, but I think he has, college football blood.
I got a few calls to make, so thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Go make those happy calls. We'll talk soon.
Yeah, man. Oh, man, God is good, man. Fight on.
Oh, baby, fight on.
All right, Miller Moss finding Deuce Robinson, and I wish you
Quite a while. And now to see him come on back to get that call from Lincoln Riley and Matt Leinart. Just put a smile on your face, because he's done a lot to the game. He's been working in high school football for a long time.
They've made point right in that direction, right? Like bringing prep players here to USC and forging long-term relationships that allow them to crave and to take the type of coaching that Lincoln Riley.
Mike Williams is a part of this thing. It's going to be great in recruiting. It'll be great within the program and the walls of that facility. And I think it'll allow this year as a foundational year with this team moving forward in the Big Ten to really.
Who has professional experience but can recruit anyone. It's just what he does best in the eyes of his, fellow defensive coordinator.
And look, he's thriving in the recruiting game. And I think when you go back and look at places they never thought they could get to, I think Coach Henderson and the rest of his defensive staff are going to do just that.
Moss finds his back, spinning inside the 35-yard line and close to another 1st down. And for me, Yogi, it's because
you just felt this maturity to him. And as you and I watched that press conference, and you know him much better than I do, JB, I just said out loud, like, he's built for college football, to your point, for this generation.
Lincoln Riley told us to start the day. He enjoys stopping in on that position group meeting as much as any other on this USC team.
I think, JB, a position group we haven't spent a ton of time, staple the nickel position. So they're going to have to play well at that second level of this defense.
Moss rips a seam ball through the hands of an extended Makai Lemon. To the left of Miller Moss. 2nd down and 10. Read beautifully out on that defensive perimeter. Prophet Brown already has an interception.
If Kamari Ramsey said something.
Settles in, sets the seams, and hits the in route for a 1st down. Kyron Hudson collects.
Look, I think at quarter you control the ball, and that's all about ball placement. Perfect on that snap from Miller Moss.
New set of downs against the blitz. Protection holds up. Get it out to Branch, and he sets up 1st and goal. So I always hesitate.
That, I mean, he has sat and waited. So when he plays like he did in the Holiday Bowl, he can rip it.
But before a 1st down run, a penalty marker at the top of that formation.
Reason, and then can you make everyone better? And to a man, this team has said that about Miller Moss.
And goal from the 12. Moss clicks through his progression and checks it down. Blow it dead somewhere near the 5.
In real time or watching it back, and that's what he's carried over into winter conditioning into today.
2nd goal from the 6. Another penalty marker down. Now, Lincoln Riley told us this week that what was reflected in
valued playing here. And I think for these quarterbacks that all think that they're going to play early, it's a challenge when you do that.
Half the distance on a defensive penalty and a flip to Brian Jackson, who's back in the end zone for USC.
Really nice job. And while this may look like an easy completion, this is all about trusting, waiting for it to be open, and putting enough air under it to get it there. I don't know if he completes that 1st year. You got to sit, you got to learn over Braylon Shelby's extended arms.
Extended time here, right? We're doing untimed final 2 minutes of each half, so we'll see where Lincoln Riley wants to go next. As long in current college football as Miller has.
Based on, a little trickeration.
And a deflection and a takeaway out on the perimeter of this USC defense. Garrett Pomerantz, the defensive end, who's yet to play through 2 seasons on the roster, gets a spring highlight.
Oh, look at him read this one from the outside. Beats the tackle, makes the tip, and then gets the recovery. 4 years, there's 2 in America. One we've watched today in Miller Moss, and the other one Miller Moss is probably going to face in week 1 in Garrett Nussmeier of LSU. The only two guys came out in the same recruiting class. They do for him.
Pomerantz, we mentioned prep with the Branch brothers at Bishop Gorman. He just got a takeaway. Let's rejoin Ashley on the sideline with Zachariah Branch.
Yeah, JB, thank you so much. Another one of these offensive stars, Zachariah Branch.
I feel like without that, then I wouldn't have been able to be ready. But, you know, they made sure I was ready and pushed me to be the best person of myself. So, yeah.
You were ready. So what's the next step your sophomore season? What are you looking at? What are you working on?
Definitely just want to keep climbing.
Like in that room right now.
Oh, yeah, man. It's real electric out there. I mean, we got a lot of different play styles for receivers. You know, we got Juice, Jacoby, Kyron, Makai, myself, and a lot of young guys like DJ Jordan.
All right, Zachariah, we're excited for you. Thanks so much for the time. Enjoy the rest of the day.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Guys.
All right, a couple of speed demons and track legends down on the sideline. Ashley Adamson and Zachariah Branch, and that is a cat down drive. Now Jaden Maiava on the give. Slaloming through traffic, Amarion Peterson, a redshirt freshman from Wichita Falls, Texas.
Experiences. Even the NCAA is limiting the amount of full contact practices that you could have in spring football.
Elijah Hughes, a defense after being named Mountain West Freshman of the Year. And a rushing touchdown to cap the day for Amarion Peterson. And the offensive line in front of him.
And another freshman helping him there. Following Justin Tawanu'u, number 74. See him pulling, kind of leading the way. Mid-year enrollee out of Huntington Beach.
In the portal the next couple of weeks, the Huntington Beach products. Got a good 15 practices in to begin his USC career. Sideline's empty. We think that will be it here in the 2024 USC spring game. The defense with 5 takeaways, 4 interceptions, including a pick six, 43-28.
Well, the good thing for Lincoln Riley is looked pretty healthy today. Nobody came out banged up. There's Eric Gentry, and now they get to launch not only into finals, but also launch into this offseason program where Anthony Lucas and company, you saw him number 6 there, prime for a big-time breakout year in this defensive front. They get to go back to that weight room with their strength and conditioning staff led by Benny Wiley and just try to be primed for a critical training camp because this schedule gets started immediately with